Hi, folks. Canadian Prepper here, recording this from the Canadian Preparedness Warehouse, where we sell high-end, high-quality survival gear. And looks like the worst-case scenario is upon us here. The worst-case scenario, the worst thing that could have possibly happened, has happened, and that is a contested election, which could potentially be drawn out for days, weeks, months ahead. So get prepared because this would have been one of the triggers for mass civil unrest, depending on how it goes, depending on who wins. And it looks like, yet again, it's going to be a dead heat right to the finish. Isn't that amazing how in American politics it's always damn near dead heat right to the finish with such a slim margin, like a razor thin margin every single time? Now, either that's a sign of the healthiest democracy I ever seen, or it's a sign of an excellent divide and conquer strategy being perpetuated by the power elite. I don't know. I really don't know. It's hard to say. All I do know is that those markets don't seem to care. And usually, when there's uncertainty like this, the markets aren't supposed to respond this way. So either there's some insider trading that's moving the needle in either direction, namely in the upward direction right now, because this is not typical. Okay, if anything, it should be going the opposite way. Now I know these markets make absolutely no sense, right? But I mean, it could be some cronyistic stuff going on, or some people are speculating that because it brings us closer to stimulus, because a winner in either direction means there's going to be stimulus, more funny money, more debt. Somehow that's getting the markets excited, and all of a sudden everything has a higher valuation. Isn't that crazy how that works? That just the speculation of printing more money is enough to cause everybody's portfolios to go up. That's the nuttiness of the world we live in, and that's why it doesn't matter who wins, guys. I'm telling you, we're screwed. So don't worry if your candidate has lost. I know some people are worried about the Second Amendment. Let me tell you something. A lot of people, what happens when their candidate gets into power is they start to sleep on issues. They start to get a little complacent, when it comes to those types of things. And I actually think that the opposite might be true. I know some people are worried about, they're going to come for the guns and all this stuff. You know what I think? I think that this is going to galvanize people to get off their butts and protest for whatever cause, that they're worried about, whatever liberty they're worried about losing. It's going to motivate people to get out there and get more active, and it could actually have the opposite effect. In fact, I would venture to say that I'm not sure if there's a theory about this, but that a lot of the actual policies that you don't want to happen, that your representatives are supposed to be against, they get implemented during their time in office because people do get complacent. Okay, and it comes down, I guess, in a lot of ways. Looks like the Dems won the House. Who's going to win the Senate and the presidency? And I guess there's going to be that it's that's going to play a large role in it. But there's going to be so much pushback, and now we got the internet. It's not like when they did the assault weapons ban back in the 90s. People are way too fired up, and I don't think people would ever stand for that sort of thing this day and age, especially when you have so many people on the left now advocating for firearms rights. So, and I seriously do mean that, guys. I pay attention to both sides of the political spectrum, and my ear to the street basically tells me that there's a lot of people on the left who are buying firearms and who are getting firearms training. So I think that issue, I can't see it moving much in the next 4 years, regardless of who's in power. So I wouldn't lose sleep over that particular issue, but maybe get more active in those issues that you're passionate about. And if everybody does that, then there should be no problem. So yeah, I mean, we could see some unrest unfolding in the next few days if there's a contested election. I mean, I don't want to make any political statements on this channel because people get so triggered in either direction. But I will say that obviously, if Trump claims victory and people feel disenfranchised, then there's going to be problems in the streets, and that probably is going to be centered mostly around political facilities. There's going to be protests and stuff like this. I mean, government facilities. But of course, it could spill over into looting in the streets and stuff like that. Could, weather permitting, right? So, I mean, always be prepared for that. Do I think it's time to bug out? Some people are making videos. You got to get ready to bug out to the hills and all this. Uh, no, I mean, the best thing to do for you right now is bug in, obviously, and try to be as gray man as possible. I know some people, I was watching some live streams, people putting themselves in situations, and that's the problem, just kind of putting yourself amongst these crowds, is that if you have an opinion, like you probably do, you're going to want to engage these people. You're going to want to get into a debate with them. And that's not a good thing to do when you're in a mob, because remember how, human psychology works. There's that diffusion of responsibility. When you're in a mob, you don't feel you have to be as accountable for your actions, and shit happens. So you just want to, the Urban Prepper made a video a couple days ago about bug-in preps. This is a time to kind of lay low, and if you cast your vote, that's great. You do so under the radar. You try to be inconspicuous. You try to be the gray man, and that's the best you can do at this point. And but I do think that right now we need to be focused on preparing for the months, if not years ahead, because we're in the age of consequences. Regardless of who wins, I mean, the financial system is just goofy. Like, it makes no sense. It's a total circus. That's evidence today in how the markets are flying sky high. Even though, if anything, it should be doing the exact opposite. Okay, we should be seeing a huge downtrend today, but we're not. So either some cronies know who's going to win, and they're banking on a win of some sort, or it just really doesn't matter. And like I said in my recent video, the power elite have a plan in either direction. Big business has a plan no matter which way it goes. Anyways, I got some plans to make videos here in the next couple days with respect to first aid supplies. There's some really cool first aid gear that's come on the market. That's probably not the best way to describe first aid supplies when it's a topic that's so dark and potentially, I don't know, not a good situation, right? Sorry, guys. It's been a long night, and it's been a long week, and I'm a little tongue-tied with my words here today. But yeah, so I got some good videos coming for you guys in the next week, and I can't wait to get back to life as normal. Some people seem to think I like making these types of videos. I don't. I want to be out there, doing gear reviews. I want to be doing educational videos. Unfortunately, me dropping a video that takes me a week to produce right now is just a waste of my time. It looks like we got somebody at the door here, so I got to get going. Marshall is getting activated. Good boy. All right, guys, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for checking in, and stay safe and stay ready. Canadian Prepper out.